Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Teens Talk Movies. I am your host, Trevor, and with me, as always, we have Thomas. Thomas, how you doing?
I am doing good. A little disappointed I didn't get to see Mortal Kombat this week, but UK release dates and all. So Trevor will have to be talking about that one alone. But yeah, we still got a lot to talk about. The Oscars preview, a couple trailers, and obviously
Oscar weekend.
Yes.
So you guys will probably actually hear this after the Oscars. We're recording this Sunday morning. At least in the US, not for Thomas, because he's like weird and they chose to do a different time over there. But actually, like GMT is like the base time and we're all on their time, but whatever. Yeah. So just for I realized that after I said it. So just for like processing and editing and download time and everything. Also considering that I'm going to be like leaving town right after we record this, and I probably won't be able to do any of that until like tonight while I'm watching the Oscars. And likely you guys won't hear this until like Monday morning, so post Oscars. But this is our Oscars preview show. Our full on like Oscars breakdown on what happened will be next weekend. So with all that said, not a lot of news, but we got lots of trailers. We had Falcon and Winter Soldier finale, so we'll give our thoughts on that and our overall thoughts on the series. We had Mortal Kombat come out, unfortunately, and guy got the Oscars to preview. But Thomas, you want to go ahead and get into some of the smaller news?
Yeah, sure. Let's do this.
All right. Mad Max Furiosa is going to be released June 23rd, 2023, and adds Chris Hemsworth to the cast of Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Anya Taylor-Joy, who will be playing Furiosa. Thoughts on this? Do you want to see this movie, and what do you think of the cast?
So I haven't seen the original Mad Max films, but Mad Max Fury Road was definitely a film I thoroughly enjoyed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And Chris Hemsworth, I haven't seen him in much outside the MCU. I've seen him in a bit of stuff, but he's genuinely pretty all right in the stuff he's in. So yeah, definitely excited to see what he brings to the franchise.
Another Australian actor, I believe, in Mad Max. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a bit curious about Anya Taylor-Joy because I haven't. So they're really the only things that I've seen her in are Emma and the Queen's Gambit. So I don't know if I'm not familiar if she has done any kind of action stuff before. I know she did Split.
But I think probably the closest one to an action film. Right.
So I'm curious to see how she can do the role of like young Furiosa. And who the rest of them will be playing. So I've seen the original the original Mad Max as well as Mad Max Fury Road. I haven't seen 2 or 3. But I'm very, very excited for this. I love Fury Road. So yeah, also very excited to see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He was brilliant in Trial of the Chicago 7. Also, he was in Watchmen, right? The TV show.
I'm not familiar with the TV show, but okay. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, but yeah, no, I'm definitely very excited for this. We'll get it 2 years from now. But yeah. No, I mean it's gonna be fun. I'm curious to see as more of the cast shapes up and we get more details because I don't think we know if George Miller's directing. So as we get,
no, I don't. Yeah, we don't know that yet. But
yeah, so as we get more shaping up, then it'll be interesting to see how it looks.
Yeah, for sure.
And if George Miller isn't directing, if it will keep kind of like the same vibe and aesthetic of Mad Max Fury Road, which I'll be curious to see. But we talked about this briefly last week. The Lord of the Rings show is going to cost $500 million. Just insane. Like,
yeah, definitely.
This is
I mean,
absolutely insane.
I hope but if they know what they're doing with money and if they're putting it to good use, I'm down for it. I mean, I love The Lord of the Rings, and yeah, definitely looking forward to this TV show anyway. This just makes me even more excited.
Yeah, it would suck if it was bad. Like, and they wasted $500 million. Because,
Yes.
like, I don't know if people that's a lot of money.
It is
like,
a lot of money, yes.
$500 million.
Yeah, that is more than a lot of films just make, even.
I think that's like
even big blockbusters.
Double of Avengers Endgame's budget.
Yeah, which is insane, but yeah. I'm still definitely looking forward to it though, and this just makes me even more hyped for it.
Yeah. I can't wait for a trailer just to see where the $500 million went, just as far as the look of the show.
Yeah.
Also, guys, Atticus isn't here this week. He will hopefully be able to be back soon, but he's going through some family stuff right now. So he isn't going to be able to be here for a while. But we hope to have him back soon. And I will keep you guys updated on when Atticus will be able to return. But for the foreseeable future, he won't be here. So we wish him all the best. Yeah. But Thomas, Alfred Molina made a lot of Marvel Studio execs really mad because he just came out and said, "Yeah, I'm doing Spider-Man No Way Home. So's like everybody else that was rumored: Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Kirsten Dunst, Jamie Foxx, Emma Stone. We're all doing it. We're all here. Marvel's gonna be mad I said this, but like, whatever." Obviously, that was a paraphrase, but that's basically what he said. Yeah. So yeah, everything's now confirmed. Thank you, Alfred Molina. Are you excited for this concept of visiting old Spider-Men?
Again, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. As long as they use them the correct amount, so they don't use them too much, but also they're not just cameos, because I think that would be pretty disappointing. Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And we've seen a similar concept of going back to old movies in Avengers Endgame. Maybe that was a trial to see if this kind of thing would work out. Yeah. And so, I trust Marvel to do this effectively, but hopefully, as I say, they're not trying to juggle too much, which is my only slight caution with this. There's a lot of characters they're bringing in, and I still want it to be about Tom Holland and focus on him, because that is a character that we've seen in the movie so far.
Yeah. Alfred Molina also said that the story picks up right where Spider-Man 2 leaves off, with him going in the river and everything.
Okay.
Which is weird that there wouldn't be a time jump, so I'm assuming they're de-aging. I kind of would want to see it that universe 10 to 15 years later, see where Peter and MJ are. See if they have a kid. I don't know, I think that would be more interesting than just or maybe we just get a scene with Alfred Molina like that, because then there's still Spider-Man 3 to account for. So I
mean, unless they want to erase that from existence, which is a possibility.
I really do enjoy Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, though. He's really solid in that role.
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is the only one of that original trilogy that I would actively go back to. I mean, not that Spider-Man the original was bad. It's just I don't tend to go back to it. Where Spider-Man 2, definitely one of the best ones. Definitely, probably one of the best Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Spider-Verse is still better, but we all know Thomas has wrong opinions about that.
Go back there.
It's gonna keep coming back. You shouldn't have opened that Pandora's box.
No.
So we got a set photo from Thor: Love and Thunder, and Christian Bale is bald, which just further confirms that he is doing Gore the God Butcher. Okay. Thomas, are you at all familiar with Gore the God Butcher?
I am not, no, which might come as a big shock to you, but yeah, I don't know who the character is.
No, he's not a main. Yeah, I wouldn't say that he's a mainstream character. He's definitely more kind of, I guess, outside the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so basically he's just like this like alien, and he like has a connection to like the symbiotes and like a venom and everything like that. So like he couldn't like save his dying family, so then he goes out to seek revenge on the gods because the gods didn't save his family.
Right.
So then he will use like symbiotes to go and like murder gods.
Well, okay, fair enough.
So that's just like from what I can remember, because I read like his like original run like in 2013. And I haven't looked back on it since like 2014 or so. So that's just as best as I can remember.
Right.
But yeah. I'm definitely excited to see the character show up. It should be interesting. Always excited to see Christian Bale do more things, especially in the MCU.
Yeah, definitely. Christian Bale's an actor I love, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the MCU though, we got some casting for Secret Invasion. So Samuel Jackson was already confirmed, as well as Ben Mendelsohn. We also have Kingsley Benadir, Emilia Clarke, and Olivia Colman joining this cast. Yes.
Yeah, this is already shaping out to be a pretty stacked cast, and especially Olivia Colman and Kingsley Benadir are two actors this year especially who have shown me that they are great actors. So
Kingsley Benadir was snubbed.
Yeah, so I'm sure they will be able to do well in the series, and yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Definitely.
I think it's funny because this is just like if Meryl Streep joined the MCU. Like Olivia Colman is that type of actress where now like everything, like she's like a middle-aged actress where like everything she's in like gets nominations no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know what their roles are going to be. Like I have absolutely no clue. Obviously, we know who Samuel Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn will be, but Olivia Colman, Emilia Clarke, and Kingsley Benadir, I have absolutely no clue who they're going to play.
No, yeah,
like 0%. But this cast looks incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, wow.
Yeah, this is wasn't too. I mean, I'm obviously excited for anything Marvel, but again, it wasn't one that was on the forefront of my mind. But yeah, this is just really hyping up.
Really. I mean, it's amazing. I know you don't read comics, but have you heard of the Secret Invasion comic
I have heard of the Secret Invasion series. Yes,
it's really incredible. I would even suggest the adaptation in the animated show Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Like I will say, Thomas, if you haven't, it's on Disney Plus. It only lasted 2 seasons because then Disney bought it and then they canceled production. But it's an incredible show. Okay, and it adapts Avengers comics from like the 1960s up through like even up to like the mid 2000s.
Wow. Okay. I'll try and check out.
It's 2 seasons, each season 26 episodes.
Right.
But yeah, and like the animation style is like old like Jack Kirby type style from the 1960s. It's very, very good. And yeah, I'm very, very disappointed it was canceled because they had like seasons 3 and 4 planned and they were going to bring in like the X-Men and Fantastic Four and do Civil War. And then Disney bought them. But there's a big push for a revival, just like Clone Wars got.
Yeah.
So I definitely check that out. And it's kind of like a crash course on Avengers comics.
Right. Okay.
But speaking of very famous superheroes, Mr. Michael Keaton, also known as Batman, has been confirmed for The Flash. There was some, is he in, is he out? The Flash has began production, and Michael Keaton is there. So do we think this is like a timey thing, like a time thing where like Flash like travels back in time or something weird like that? Or do we just think he plays Batman now? And it's just
I personally think I mean, it's hard to judge, really. I mean, it could be either of those. They're a very real possibility. I think maybe it's more likely that he's just here playing Batman. Like, they're trying to sort of strip the films back a bit more. They obviously had all this planned time jumps and whatever for the DCE, but then obviously that failed. So, I think they're trying to more go simple, straightforward films. So I think it would make more sense to have him just be Batman. But then again, it would definitely be exciting to see him see this all-time jumps and stuff like that.
Right. So Ben Affleck was also rumored to be in this movie, and we still haven't been told if he is in it or not. So like, did they just like legitimately recast Ben Affleck with Michael Keaton to play Batman now? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, if they're going to have Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton in the film, I think you are looking at more of a time jumping situation. But if it's just Michael Keaton, as I say, maybe they have just, well, not recast him obviously, but brought in a new Batman for a new film.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But regardless, I'm very happy to see Michael Keaton as the character of Batman again. Maybe we'll just get like a bird. Maybe he's playing like Birdman. Funny would that be?
Yeah.
Like not like his character in Birdman, but like the fictional character he was playing in Birdman.
Yeah, that would be that's like something.
DC secretly bought the rights from Alejandro Inarritu. So speaking of buying rights, Vin Diesel is going to star in a film version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, because isn't that just real steel?
Again, I'm not too familiar with this, and Vin Diesel's fine in most of the stuff he's in. So
okay, Thomas, you're being way too generous.
Pardon?
You're being way too generous.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's okay, but maybe like two things.
Yeah, but so this is not a project I'm massively looking forward to. I have a feeling this is just going to be one of those generic, bad sci-fi films.
So are you aware of Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
I am not, no.
So it was like these robot toys from the 80s.
Okay.
There was never like a show or anything that I can remember. It's like these robot toys from the 80s, and like they'd be in a boxing ring, and then there'd be like these little like joysticks. It was like a physical game, and joysticks on either side, so that way you could like move your guy around, and there were like little grids that you could move into, like, and you try and knock the other one over.
Right.
Or something along those lines.
Right. And they make a film about that?
Yes. So have you seen the movie Real Steel with Hugh Jackman?
I have not, but is that based on them, I guess, then?
No, but it's basically just that.
Oh, okay.
Like it's the same thing.
Right. Okay.
From everything that I can gather. So, yeah. Is this needed? Absolutely not. Will I see it? Only if I have to for the podcast.
Yep. That's pretty much my thoughts exactly as well.
I'll take this to just ask you, Gunnar, are you guys getting Mitchell's vs. the Machines next weekend on Netflix?
Let me just check that real quickly.
The new Phil Lord, Chris Miller project.
Right, okay. I'll just check that. So we can move on to the next story whilst I
Yes. And I'm absolutely not editing this out.
Nice.
So we got some directors for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. See what I did there? The Phil Lord, Chris Miller thing. Get it now?
Very smooth.
Yes, yeah. So we got a new directing team. They're bringing back no one from the first one. Obviously, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are still on there, because with animation, it's really like the producers/writers that have all the creative control, which is what Phil Lord and Chris Miller are. But very excited for these directors. So we got Justin Thompson, who is the lead animator on Spider-Verse. Joaquim Dos Santos, who worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I haven't watched, but I know a lot of people really love that show.
Yeah.
But here's the big one. Kemp Powers, director of Soul and writer of One Night in Miami, is directing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. So I love Soul.
Yeah,
I love One Night in Miami.
Definitely.
Therefore, logically, I love Kent Powers. Therefore,
Right.
logically, I will love Spider-Verse too.
Okay. Okay. Don't think you should keep an open mind?
No.
No. Okay. Fair enough.
No. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is already the greatest movie ever made, and it's a Wonderful Life, but like Spider-Verse is up there. Just look at the IMDb 250. It's at like number 16 or something.
Well, yeah.
Which proves Thomas is wrong. No, opinions are
right. Okay. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no, I'm very excited about this directing team. What are your thoughts about this directing team being added to Spider-Verse 2?
Yeah, as you say, Kent Powers, loved Soul, loved One Night in Miami, and to be honest, as long as Lord and Miller are still attached, I think it could be pretty good because they are two people I'm a big fan of. Even though Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse I didn't love, I still thought it was a good film. And yeah, so still definitely very excited to see what these people do because it's also a very interesting mix of people.
Yeah.
Which so definitely interested to see how that all plays out. But yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah. I love how like you do like you think that Spider-Verse is good, you just don't love it as much as other people, but I paint it out as if you like hate the movie.
Yeah. I have to clarify every so often.
But yeah, very, very excited for this, if you can tell. I don't know if we're still getting like the Spider-Gwen movie that was like supposed to happen. And it was supposed to be before Spider-Verse 2, but Spider-Verse 2 comes out December of 2022. So I doubt we're getting Spider-Gwen. Maybe it comes out afterwards now. Not sure. And there was also supposed to be that TV show as well. Like a Netflix anthology show.
Yeah.
Each one following like a different Spider-Man from a different universe. So not sure where that is going. Did you find out about Mitchell's Earth Machines?
I did. I don't think it is, to be honest. It's not on the coming next week to Netflix, so.
Got it. All right.
So yeah.
Oh, I can.
Wait, no, sorry. No, yes, it is. I was looking at coming next week. Coming this week. Yeah, it is. Coming on Friday.
Got it.
Friday.
Yes. All right, so we can talk about that next week.
Yeah.
It should be fun. I watched the trailer, and it basically just seems like a family road comedy meets Terminator. So,
yeah.
but I trust Bill Lord and Chris Miller. So, guys, Loki season 2 is in development already. We haven't even seen Loki season 1, and if we're being honest, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was fine. Wasn't great.
Hit and miss. Yeah.
Though this does look more along the lines of like something like WandaVision, like where they go very big. Falcon and the Winter Soldier felt kind of safe. So yeah, no, I mean, I would like to see like season 1 first, but
yeah, definitely.
I mean, whatever.
Because this had me a bit worried because we saw with the DCU back in the day, they announced all these projects in development before a lot of them had even come out, and then they got negative reviews, and then obviously they all got cancelled. But I hope Marvel aren't making the same mistakes. I mean, they have announced a lot of shows, but hopefully they know what they're doing, which they've proved that they have in the past. So yeah, I'm a bit cautious as to this. Hopefully Loki will be good, and then we'll just be all happy that this is being produced. But you never know. If Loki 1 isn't great, I don't know how we're going to feel about this.
Here's the thing, though. Marvel has never gotten negative reviews.
No.
At least like for the MCU. There's never been negative reviews. Like the Rotten Tomatoes, like even with the Disney Plus shows so far, all been 67% and higher. And they haven't had something sub 70% since 2013 with Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
So
I trust Marvel, but just they need to be a bit cautious about announcing all these shows without a lot of them even coming out yet.
Absolutely. Well, because they just announced that Captain America 4 is in development with the showrunner of Falcon the Winter Soldier, which I don't feel great about. We'll get more into our thoughts on Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the end of the show for our review.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I really, really liked it at the start. Like, you can go back and listen to old reviews. I really loved it. And these last two episodes,
episode 4 was brilliant. But
episode
then
4 was probably some of the best MCU we've ever seen.
Yeah, but then it just not really slowly, actually, rapidly declined.
Yeah, it really didn't. I think because, and we'll obviously get more into this later, but like there were so many moments that were supposed to be like quote unquote like cool in the last episode, but it didn't mean anything because like it wasn't like we were getting payoff or anything. It just kind of happened because like they didn't set up anything. It just kind of happened, and we were told like, yeah, this is supposed to be cool, and we're like, but why? And we're like, because it is. Well, you didn't, it didn't work. There were so many great character moments early on, but the lack of setup really killed it in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll get into that more later.
Absolutely. Speaking of Disney Plus stuff, though, Hawkeye has wrapped shooting, so that comes out later this year, and I could not be more excited. It's being based off of probably my favorite comic book run of all time, Matt Fraction and David Aja's Hawkeye. If you have not read this, it is incredible. It's only 22 issues. And it is so good. It's like a great story about a superhero not being super.
Right.
It's kind of like Hawkeye's just kind of like a regular guy because he is.
Yeah.
And like he isn't like married in the comics or anything, so he's just chilling by himself in his apartment. And then the story honestly revolves around like him just like trying to help his neighbors.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah.
And
I mean, this is a show that I'm definitely looking forward to because after Endgame, after watching it so many times in cinemas, I realized that Hawkeye was probably the one I was most enjoying seeing him on screen. So he has definitely become one of my favorite characters in the MCU. So definitely happy that he's getting his own show.
Yeah, absolutely. I would very highly recommend the Matt Fraction David Aja run if you can find it. It's just like 4 trade paperbacks to get all 22 issues, or there's one big collection that I'm sure like if there's like library or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I'll time to
Yeah. Obviously, if you have the time, it's very, very good. Also to the audience as well.
Yes.
So Dave Bautista wants to play Bane, and apparently he's been pitching this to DC Studios. So do we want to see, like, I feel kind of mixed about this because like I love Dave Bautista. I want to see him do more stuff that he wants to do. I don't like him as Bane though.
Yeah, I mean this is one where it's just okay. He looks the part, like he's got the right build and stuff, but just it seems a bit of a serious role for him. And I mean,
right,
where is he going to play it? Like if there's a Robert Pattinson Batman universe that they're trying to set up, it looks a lot darker than you would expect to find a film that Dave Bautista would be in. So I don't know. It just kind of feels like maybe he wants to play him, but is this the right time for him? And is there the right opportunity for him to play it?
Yeah, like he's a comedic actor.
Exactly,
I mean, let's be honest. So
yeah.
Like unless they're trying to rewrite the character of Bane for Dave Bautista, but then you aren't playing Bane, you're just playing yourself called Bane.
Yes.
So I don't know. It is something that he wants to do. So clearly he's like a fan of the character, and he wants to do this. So I mean, if he can commit, like this isn't like it's rumored that DC wants to cast him. He wants to do this, which means that he must think that he can, at least. But I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, it looks like Army of Dead will be a bit more serious.
Yeah.
And granted, it's
Yeah,
a zombie
that's
movie,
true. So
but
maybe
like
he's trying to transition a bit more into that
maybe,
world.
maybe.
But we
Um,
will need to see what he is like in Army of Dead. I mean, if he is not great in that, then maybe this is not a great idea for him.
yeah, absolutely. Paul Thomas Anderson's next film, Soggy Bottom, which will star Bradley Cooper, has got its release date. It's Christmas, December 25th of 2021. Only 8 more months to our next PTA movie.
Yeah.
You excited for this?
I mean, to be honest, I've not seen many Paul Thomas Anderson films. I've seen There Will Be Blood and Punch Drunk Love, but other than that, I am not too familiar with him. So this is not one that I'm massively excited for. But those two films are definitely very good. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what he does with it. And Bradley Cooper, he was great in a lot of films that he's in, especially A Star Is Born. Really enjoyed him in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, clearly positioning this for Oscar contention. There's only 10 months of
Exactly.
eligibility. It's March through December.
Mm.
Paul Thomas Anderson's last movie, Phantom Thread. I want to say he got director for it. Did Phantom Thread get picture?
I think it might have been nominated. Yeah.
Because it was 2017. Yeah, Phantom Thread did get picture because that was when Shape of Water won.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is very clearly set up for Oscars because so it got quite a bit. It got picture, he got director, it got score, it won costume design, and then it also got actor for Daniel Day-Lewis and supporting actor for Leslie Manville.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson's now kind of become a shoo-in because like the Master is what he did before this in Inherent Vice. So yeah, I mean, his movies get love.
Yeah, clearly.
So yeah, like even Inherent Vice, which is like a crazy movie, he still got adapted screenplay for.
Right.
So, PTA gets Oscars, and they're going for this year. So, which might be smart considering it's going to be like a smaller year for the Oscars, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff shoved into there, but a lot of it is like blockbuster movies.
Yeah, franchise films, yeah.
Yeah. I think right now, like, my early favorite for as far as stuff that's eligible would be Shiva Baby, which is a Canadian film directed by, like, first-time director Emma Sengelman.
I definitely. When is the French Dispatch releasing? Because I definitely bring that chance as well.
June, I want to say. I'm so excited for Wes Anderson to put out another movie. Because Isle of the Dogs was last time we saw him.
Yeah, so I definitely think that could be in contention.
Yeah, in a live action capacity, what was the last time we saw him? Because it wasn't Grand Budapest. Didn't he do something afterwards?
Grand Budapest and that is it.
Was that actually the last live action movie he did? No, I know he did something else after Grand Budapest.
Well,
not Moonrise Kingdom, the other one. Right?
The Royal Tenenbaums?
No, that was way earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I forgetting? Maybe it was just Grand Budapest Hotel.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Grand Budapest Hotel was his last live action movie.
Wow, okay.
So 7 years ago. So very, very excited because I think that Grand Budapest Hotel is his best.
Right.
I love that movie. So
I probably agree with you that it's his best, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not a massive fan of it still, but definitely his best of the ones I've seen so far. Because Life of Classic did not enjoy really at all. And Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs, they're fine. They're pretty decent animated films, I'd say.
I mean, Wes Anderson is at his best when he makes very Wes Anderson-y movies. And Grand Budapest Hotel, I would say, is his most Wes Anderson-y movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. But Oscar season is shaping up to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
We're already seeing stuff positioned. So yeah, just looking at like stuff that could be potential favorite so far. I think Raya and the Last Dragon is definitely the only early front runner for animated, but we still have a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
As far as other stuff, I mean, I know people really like Nobody. We also had French Exit, Michelle Pfeiffer movie come out, though I think that qualified for last year because of film festival stuff.
Right.
But yeah, no, I would definitely like place Shiva Baby very highly because that just came out in April.
Okay.
April 2nd. So
Yeah, well, I haven't heard much about it, but
it's
yeah, definitely see it.
it's not a bunch of people have had it, but just like as far as in the film community, it's been building up a
Okay.
bit of steam.
Right. Okay. Well,
Um,
hopefully it doesn't lose its steam
yeah,
before
yeah,
which isn't
I really hope so.
quite worry. But yeah.
Well, I hope that it gets like a wider release or goes to a major streaming service because right now it's just like it's limited in theaters or you can rent it for like $7. So, but yeah, no, it has like a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Wow.
And yeah, it was made for $225,000 by a first time 24-year-old director. So, but it's very, very good. What do we got next? There's going to be a Kiss biopic about the band called Shout It Loud. It's going to come to Netflix from Joachim Ronin, also known for directing Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So, are you familiar with Kiss, Joachim Ronin, and are you excited for this?
To be honest, I'm not really that bothered about this. I mean, it's a biopic about a rock band that I have no interest in. Although Joachim Ronin, I really did actually quite enjoy Mistress of
Just a
Evil.
minute. I was wrong. You aren't going to enjoy this. He did not do Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. He did Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Now your opinion will change.
Right, yeah. Okay, so then I'm really just not looking forward to
both.
it at all.
I'm so confused. Sorry, but his IMDb is so weird.
Right.
Okay. Oh, so they had it separated by okay. So yes, he did both Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and he's going to be doing Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
Right. So I guess he's pretty hit and miss.
Yeah. Yeah, those are his only feature films so far. So he's only worked with Disney previously, so this is definitely a big step out of the box.
Yeah. It's one that I mean I'll probably watch it, but I'm not really anticipating it. I don't think it will really be my type of film, but who knows? It might surprise me.
Unless this turns into an Oscar contender like Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't think this movie will be relevant at all.
No.
And we likely won't be watching it for the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese and John Carney of Sing Street, director, are going to make a George Gershwin, the star of classic movies Funny Face and American in Paris, biopic. So Marty Scorsese making a biopic about a classic musical actor, alongside the director of Sing Street. So, thoughts on this?
I mean, Martin Scorsese is a great director who's made a lot of stuff that I really am a fan of.
Yeah.
Was Wolf of Wall Street a biopic? Or was it just...
Yes, no, the Wolf of Wall Street is a biopic.
Okay, yeah, so clearly he can direct biopics as well.
Obviously, yeah.
So yeah, there's not really much to say other than Martin Scorsese. So yeah, very excited for it.
Absolutely. This is, I mean, already with Scorsese's name, this is an awards contender.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's released. I doubt this year, but yeah.
Probably not, no, since this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Right. Major casting news. So we talked about previously, we saw Russell Crowe on the set. We thought that he could potentially be a part of the play. Russell Crowe is playing Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Mm.
Thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
I mean, Russell Crowe is a very powerful actor, has a lot of roles that are putting him in the forefront, really. So, I think he'll probably have quite a bit to do, actually,
Yeah.
which is not what we expected from his role in the film. But since he has been cast as playing Zeus, I hope he has quite a bit to do as well. And yeah, it kind of feels right to have him in a role like this.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on why I didn't make this connection previously.
Mm.
Because this really does make like a bunch of sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with the God Butcher storyline. Like this, I almost feel like this was almost expected, even though we didn't expect it.
Yeah.
So yeah, very excited to see Russell Crowe do this, kind of, I guess, replacing the Anthony Hopkins role as like an old god dude. But yeah, very, very excited now to see Russell Crowe branch out into the MCU. One of the few people to have the distinction of being both in the MCU and the DCEU.
Yeah.
Thomas, did you see the Hulu Tar movie Bad Hair?
I have not, no.
So the director of it, Justin Simeon, is going to direct a remake of Disney's Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this? Have you seen the original with Eddie Murphy?
The original is possibly one of the worst films I've ever seen. It is absolutely shocking. But if he's directed a horror film before, as you say, so if they take it in a sort of more horror direction, which they probably won't, knowing it's Disney.
Yeah. Hey, they're doing Doctor Strange 2 as horror. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But,
No, actually, that's a good point. But I mean, I don't know why they're remaking this. It's sort of a weird film, but if they do take it in a more serious horror direction, it could be quite good. But if they do go for a more comedic approach again, I don't know. It's just I get a bad feeling it won't work.
who do you want to play the Eddie Murphy role?
Oh, that is a good question. I'm not sure. Would you have any ideas?
I think it would be hilarious to put like Daniel Kaluuya in there after Get Out, but they aren't going to do that.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so.
How funny would that be, though?
That would be pretty. Well, Daniel Kaluuya did start his career in comedy.
That's true. That's true. I would like to see like someone like Kevin Hart or Chris Rock do it.
Yeah, they'd probably be the most likely ones, but again,
I think it makes the most sense.
I don't think it'll be great.
Jamie Foxx, maybe.
Jamie Foxx, if they wanted a slightly more serious approach, yeah, definitely.
I mean, he has a relationship with Disney after Soul.
Yeah, that's true.
So I could see that happening. But yeah, not too excited for this one. Something that should be interesting though. So we got news about the Parasite TV show, which seems like it was announced so long ago, but it's still happening. It's going to come out on HBO Max. Bong Joon-ho is going to be directing it, and it's going to be a completely original story. So not focusing on any of the families that we saw in 2019's Parasite. It's going to be a brand new story, which is strange.
I don't know why they're calling it a Parasite TV show if they're going to complete the original story. I mean, I feel like that might just be to, jump on the fact that it won Best Picture and it's a good way of marketing it. But I don't know. They could just say, because Bong Joon-ho is a pretty successful director so far. I think
he won Best Director.
Exactly. So I feel like they could have just said a Bong Joon-ho TV show and not called it Parasite, and it would have been worked just as well. But they're adding. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm completely 100% with you here. If it's an original story, I mean, it's a marketing tactic. It's all exactly. Am I excited for it? Absolutely.
Yeah, Bong Joon-ho, great. Snowpiercer was a fantastic film. Parasite, I mean, it won Best Picture. That says it for itself, doesn't it?
Right. Bong Joon-ho is incredible.
Exactly.
Very excited for this. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. We don't know if it's going to be an anthology series or... I mean, because I don't want it to just be like basically like Parasite, but over and over again. Like he would have to bring something new. But if he's bringing something completely new, if it's a
What's
new
the
story,
point? Yeah.
new families, then it makes absolutely zero sense to call it Parasite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really don't know. Like that would be like if like after making like E.T. or whatever,
Mm.
Steven Spielberg for his next movie was like, I'm making this like I know he didn't make a movie like this, but like I'm making this like war drama. I know that was much
Yeah.
later with Saving Private Ryan. I'm making this war drama, but I'm gonna call it like E.T. in War because E.T. made money. Like it,
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
Right. So I don't know.
To be fair, it's a good marketing strategy because I don't know if we would be talking about it if it wasn't connected to the film or surrounded by the film in some way.
Oh, maybe for this podcast because we only talk about TV if it's connected to movies.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that we, outside of the podcast, would be talking about it though, just because it's Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah, maybe.
This definitely does put it more in the mainstream though.
Exactly.
But we will take a quick break, and then we will be back with our Oscars preview. Then our reviews of the Shang-Chi trailer and the Conjuring 3 trailer, and then our Falcon Winter Soldier episode 6 review, and then our Mortal Kombat review. So much stuff to talk about.
Yes.
And we'll be doing it right after this. All right, guys, we are back, and we are here to talk about the Oscars because they are tonight, but when you're listening to it, they were last night, or you could be listening to it 3 years from now, and time makes no sense. Thomas.
Yep.
We'll talk about the main six, the big six.
The big
give
six.
Our final predictions, what we think will win, what we want to win. Kicking off with supporting actress.
Yes.
Maria Bakalova, Brett subsequent movie film. Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy. Olivia Colman, The Father. Amanda Seyfried, Mank, Yunya Jung, Minari. So I've seen all of these movies except Borat's subsequent movie film.
Okay.
My pick to win the award is Yunya Jung for Minari. I also think she deserves to win. I would place Olivia Colman in second, Amanda Seyfried third, and Glenn Close fourth. What about for you?
So I would also say Yoon Jung-yoon will win. I think it was pretty close, but now it is almost locked in stone that she will win. I mean, there is still a possibility one of the other ones could slip in there, but I think it is pretty solid that she will now win. As for who I think deserves, I've only actually seen Mank and Borat, and to be honest, I think Maria Bakalova's performance is more interesting than Amanda Seyfried, but I'd probably say Amanda Seyfried's performance is overall better.
Got it. So just based off of personal, and this is only on what we have seen, obviously, your pick for best supporting actress would be Amanda Seyfried. Obviously, that will change if you see more movies, but just for now.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no, I think Yoon Jung has definitely pulled away here. And she's very, very deserving. She's absolutely incredible. Best supporting actor, we got Sacha Baron Cohen in Trial of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami, Paul Rassi in Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield in Judas and the Black Messiah. So I've seen all 5 of these movies. Thomas, have you?
Yes, I have seen all 5 of them.
Yeah. Okay. I think Daniel Kaluuya is very clearly and obviously winning here.
Yeah, definitely.
He was absolutely incredible. I still think he would be my personal pick, but Paul Rassi and Leslie Odom Jr. are very, very close behind.
Yeah, see, I'd actually probably say Leslie Odom Jr. would be my deserved pick. I think he was just so great in that film, and the way he just felt like the character he was playing. But yeah, I definitely agree. Daniel Kaluuya is definitely won this. I mean, on Gold Derby, you get there's this thing where you get 2 super bets where you double the points they're worth, and you get 2 of them. Supporting actor is one of them that I've got it on, so I'm very confident that Daniel Kaluuya should win this.
Yeah. Did you just admit to betting underage, like on a public show? Nice, Thomas. Nice.
What? No.
That's not being edited. So,
right.
Okay. Yeah, no, Leslie Odom Jr. is absolutely incredible. If Kingsley Ben-Adir was here, he would be absolutely my pick, but the Oscars were dumb and snubbed him. Yeah, I thought Paul Raci was really, really incredible in Sound of Metal, though.
Yeah, he was definitely. I think the film is certainly about Riz Ahmed's character, and so he does feel like a supporting character, whereas compared to Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield, who are less of supporting actors and more just lead actors.
And Leslie Odom Jr. Even Sacha Baron Cohen is like a
exactly.
lead.
So if you're talking about a real supporting actor, Paul Raci fills that role.
Right, absolutely. Also, Paul Raci playing the only original character. Everybody else played historical characters.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Paul Raci was very, very good. Just watched Sound of Metal last night, as did Thomas, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Paul Raci is really good. Daniel Kaluuya was just he was pure energy every time he was on screen in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, which in fairness he is in everything I've seen him in.
Oh yeah, Daniel Kaluuya.
Black Mirror. He just puts his whole efforts into it.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya is absolutely incredible. So I think he is my personal pick. Though previously, before I saw Judas and the Black Messiah, it was Leslie Odom Jr.
Okay.
But I think so far my pick kind of aligns with what I think will actually win. With both Kaluuya and Yoon Jung, but I think that's going to change here, maybe because we got Best Actress. So we got Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Honor Day for United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. So I haven't seen United States vs. Billie Holiday or Pieces of a Woman yet.
No, neither have I.
But we've both seen the other 3. Or wait, you haven't seen Nomadland?
I haven't seen Nomadland, no.
You're right. So, man, it could really be any of the 4 aside from Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah.
It could really be any of them. I feel like Carey Mulligan is a favorite. She also just won the Indie Spirit Award, beating out both Viola Davis and Frances McDormand.
Okay, wow.
And the Indie Spirit Awards generally align with what the Oscars are going to do.
Okay.
So that gets me a bit more confident about Carey Mulligan. I'm rooting for Carey Mulligan so hard. I love Promising Young Woman. It was my favorite it's still my favorite movie of 2020. The Father, I think, just slightly beats it out as far as my favorite of the Best Picture nominees, but The Father was 2021 as far as when its actual release happened. So Promising Young Woman was my favorite movie of 2020. I'm very, very much rooting for Carey Mulligan to pick up this win because she's so deserving. Thomas, I know you watched Promising Young Woman in the past week.
I did, and I will also definitely say that Carey Mulligan deserves this. But whether she'll win, I personally think that Viola Davis will be able to win. I just have that feeling. I just have a feeling that she'll be able to take it.
Yeah.
And again, it could be anyone. It's really just a guess, to be honest. I mean, you could look at any different award show and say, this is why that actor will win, or this is why this actor will win. And honestly, it could be any one of these.
Right. And I do think that Viola Davis and Andre Day could split votes.
Mm.
I really do.
That is fair. That is a fair point.
Frances McDormand has the more Oscar performance.
Yeah, but again, I feel it might just be too recent that she won it.
Yeah, because those were 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. That was just 2017.
Yeah.
So, and this would be her third, because I know she's won before for Fargo, right?
Yes. Yeah, she did.
So this would be her third. So, I mean, but should, like, the Academy punish her for being good?
I mean, no, but they do tend to follow patterns, and they don't like to give Oscars to people very in really close succession. I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions, but as a general rule, they don't.
Yeah. I mean, Carey Mulligan is obviously my pick for what deserves to win. I think I'm going to go with Carey for my final prediction.
Okay.
But you're going Viola Davis for your final.
I am going Viola Davis, yes.
So far, we agreed on the supporting ones. We're going different there. Actor. This is closer than people think.
Definitely.
This is way closer than people think. What I think deserves it, Anthony Hopkins. For The Father. The nominees are Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, Stephen Yeun for Minari. So I've seen all 5 of these movies. I would rank them 1, Anthony Hopkins, 2, Chadwick Boseman, 3, Riz Ahmed, 4, Stephen Yeun, 5, Gary Oldman. That's just on personal preference. I've never rooted for a tie more than I'm rooting for Chadwick Boseman and Anthony Hopkins to tie.
Right.
I mean, I want Chadwick to get the Lifetime Achievement Award and be awarded with the Best Actor. But Anthony Hopkins, I think, is like... I mean, he just simply had the best performance of the year.
Okay, yes. I mean, Riz Ahmed as well, I think, deserves a mention. He was absolutely fantastic in The Sound of Metal.
Yeah.
Without him, I genuinely don't think it would have been as well loved, but he just gives a great performance. But again, I still think Chadwick Boseman had enough momentum and still has enough momentum to win. There could be a surprise, and honestly, I don't think it would be a surprise anymore, really, as much as it would have been if someone else is to win. It would still obviously be a bit of a shock, but I think he has enough steam, and if anyone's going to take it, I think it would be Anthony Hopkins, just because he won elsewhere. The BAFTA. So
so my pick as who deserves it is Anthony Hopkins. Who will win it? It's going to be Chadwick, I think.
Yeah, I'll go Riz Ahmed as deserves Chadwick Boseman.
Fair.
To actually win.
Fair. Best director, it's Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
It is, indeed. Yeah.
She's also my pick for who I think deserves it. As much as I love Promising Young Woman, Nomadland is the best directed movie of the year. Okay. It's so like Chloe Zhao just has such a touch and taste for it. She's so good.
Right.
So good. Other nominees include Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, David Fincher for Mank, and Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round. Who do you think deserves it, though?
Well, because I've only seen Mank and Promising Young Woman, I'm going to have to give it to Emerald Fennell, because even though David Fincher is probably my favorite director of all time, I do not like Mank. I do not like Mank, but compared to all the rest of the Best Picture nominations, I think it is leagues below.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I definitely see where you're coming from. All right, but we're both predicting Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Best Picture, this is going to be Nomadland, right?
Well, unless I go controversial and say something like Minari. No, I will say Nomadland. I mean, I've been looking this past week of like I searched up top 10 most surprising Oscar winners and then looked at what they had won in the past to see if you could predict surprise here. But even the most surprising ones like Spotlight had won something elsewhere, whereas every other film in this hasn't really won anywhere else. It's always been Nomadland for everything. So I don't think there could possibly be a surprise.
Is the thing though. So this year's been crazy. I could see the Academy wanting to try and make like a political statement of sorts and going with either Promising Young Woman, Judas and the Black Messiah, or Minari.
Yeah, honestly, if anyone is going to take it other than Nomadland, I think it'll be Promising Young Woman.
Right. I could also see Minari happening.
Yeah.
I could see them giving Chloe Zhao director and adapted screenplay and giving something else picture. I don't think it will happen, but I wouldn't be completely and utterly shocked if she gets adapted screenplay. Though I think The Father deserves adapted screenplay, I would be completely and utterly shocked if she gets adapted. If she gets adapted screenplay and director, but not picture.
Yeah.
I think if anything were to happen, that's how it would happen. But for what deserves it, for me, it's The Father.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say deserves it would be probably Promising Young Woman.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't seen Nomadland though, so I don't know. I can't really judge, but
Promising Young Woman is easily my number 2.
Pardon?
Oh, I was just gonna say Promising Young Woman easily my number 2.
Okay.
It was my number 1 for a while.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas. With the rest of these categories, we won't do any of the documentary, short film, or anything like that. But we're going to rapid fire, okay?
Okay.
And make predictions and what we think should win. No explanations. We're just gonna say our answers. Ready?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Original screenplay. There's Judas and Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7. My pick to go ahead. You go first.
Will win and should win is both Promising Young Woman. I think it will win, and I think it should win.
I completely agree with everything. Trial of Chicago 7 isn't getting it. Adapted screenplay. You got Borat, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. Go ahead.
Will win. I think it'll be Nomadland. Should win. I guess I'll have to go with One Night in Miami.
Will win. Nomadland. Should win. The Father.
Okay.
Animated feature. Do we even have 3 nominees? It's Soul.
I personally preferred Onward, so I'll go for that for the first win. But definitely will win. Will win. It'll be Soul. Yeah.
Yes. Other than Onward and Soul was Over the Moon, which I quite enjoyed. Shaun the Sheep movie for Armageddon and Wolfwalkers. International feature. I haven't seen any of these. But the nominations are Another Round, Better Days Collective, The Man Who Sold His Skin, and Quo Vadis Aida. I'm going to pick Another Round, though. That's what will win.
Yeah, definitely. The director, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, we're going to be skipping the documentary and short categories. But yeah, Thomas, we'll see. We got 9 left. We'll see who ended up with the best prediction slate here.
Yeah, okay.
All right, original score: The Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. What are you picking that should win and will win?
Should win. I think I really enjoyed the score for Soul, and I think it will win as well.
Should win. Minari. Will win. Soul.
Right.
Original song. You got Fight for You, Judas and Black Messiah, Hear My Voice, Trial of the Chicago 7, Husavik for Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just legally obligated to laugh. You'll see from The Life Ahead or Speak Now from One Night in Miami.
Okay, will win. It will be Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Should win. Husavik. Definitely. No, I'm actually serious as well here. It's a good song. It's a brilliant song that I think deserves a mention.
Okay. For me, it's Speak Now for both of these. I listen. It's the only one of these that I actually listen to on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Best sound. We got Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal.
If this isn't Sound of Metal, something's gone wrong. But yeah, it will win. Sound of Metal should win. Sound of Metal.
I mean, come on, it's Sound of Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
I
sound in
agree.
the title.
Yes, I agree. Sound of Metal will and should win. Production design: The Father, Ma Rainey's Mank, News of the World, and Tenet.
I have Mank winning. As for deserves win, I'd say the whole production design for Mank does deserve a mention, probably.
I have Mank winning, but The Father should win.
Okay, yeah.
It's genius. Okay, cinematography: Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and Trial of the Chicago 7.
I think that Nomadland is going to win. As for should win, I don't know. I think the cinematography and the production design for Mank was the best part of it. So yeah, I'll go with Mank again.
Gonna go out on a limb here. Nomadland should win. Mank will win.
Well, yeah, that's
Mank won the Cinematographer's Guild Award.
It did.
So, yeah. All right. So there's another difference. We haven't had too many so far, but there's a difference there. Makeup and hair. We've got Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, and Pinocchio.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom will win. Hillbilly Elegy should win.
Oh, okay.
What they were able to do is the transformation of Amy Adams and Glenn Close is unrivaled, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Costume design: Emma, Ma Rainey's, Mank, Mulan, and Pinocchio.
Again, the same as the other category. Ma Rainey's will win. Ma Rainey's probably should win.
I think Ma Rainey's will win. If I'm being honest, I think that Emma should win.
Okay. Well, again, that's a film I haven't seen, but yeah.
I quite enjoyed Emma. I was expecting to hate it, but I really enjoyed it. Okay. Editing. This is an interesting one. You got The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7.
I honestly think that the Trial of the Chicago 7 will be able to win, and this will be its only award. But as for should win, I really thought the editing in Sound of Metal was pretty good.
So I think we're flipped, because I think Trial of the Chicago 7 should win, but Sound of Metal will win.
Okay.
So we're vice versa there.
Flip, yeah.
Visual effects: Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet.
I think it's between The Midnight Sky and Tenet, but I think Tenet will be able to win. As for should win, I thought the VFX in Love and Monsters was brilliant.
I completely agree. Tenet will win, but Love and Monsters should win. I loved Love and Monsters.
Yeah.
I watched it off of your recommendation over the past week, and
it was brilliant.
I love it, and why I like the visual effects is they're a lot more subtle and less in your face than in Tenet.
Yeah,
and they feel more original and worn in the world.
Yeah, and they play a really integral part to the film, which they do in Tenet as well. But
yeah. But those are our final predictions and our picks as to what should win the Oscars. And we'll see who is able to get more right. Who will get more right? Indeed. Will you be staying up to watch the Oscars?
Maybe okay. Is the answer to that. I have not decided yet. I have school tomorrow, but who knows?
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, I was debating recording my reaction. So if you're going to watch, if you would like to,
yeah, but I might do. I'll need to see if I can actually watch it first.
Yeah,
because often I have trouble actually doing that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll see.
All right, but that is our Oscars preview. Thomas, want to talk about some trailers?
Yeah.
Oh wait. We forgot to give our rankings of the Best Picture nominees. So I know you haven't seen all of them.
I have not seen all of them, no.
But out of what you have seen, how would you rank them?
I'd say Promising Young Woman number 1, Trial of Chicago 7 number 2, Sound of Metal number 3, Judas and the Black Messiah number 4, and Mank number 5.
So it pains me to put Mank in last because I love Mank. All these movies are 8.5 plus.
Right.
But I go number 8, Mank. Number 7, Judas and the Black Messiah. Number 6, Trial of the Chicago 7. Number 5, Nomadland. Number 4, Sound of Metal. Number 3, Minari. Number 2, Promising Young Woman. And number 1, The Father.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to watch The Father when it comes out, but it comes out so long. It's June. I have to wait till.
It's a very rough watch. I was absolutely crying for 30 minutes after the movie.
Right.
It's a rough watch, but it's definitely worth it. It's short too. It's only an hour and a half.
Okay.
But now, Thomas, let's talk about these trailers. Shang-Chi got a trailer. Thoughts?
Yeah, it was all right. This is not a project I'm massively excited for, considering I've yet to watch a kung fu film that I like. So I mean, it's Marvel though. So
what about Karate Kid? I know it's not kung fu, but like it's martial arts.
No, I said no. I
you don't like Karate Kid?
I don't enjoy that film.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's just never resonated with me at all, really.
Interesting. Have your parents took you into a mental institution anytime recently?
Right, yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It looks like a fairly generic Marvel film, to be honest. I mean, it's doing some cool new stuff, I guess, but the plot and story, from what we've seen and what we've seen through the trailer, yeah, it's just kind of, I mean, it's a trailer that I watched and was excited to watch, and it didn't make me less excited for the film by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, it's not a film that's at the top of my excitement.
So so this trailer, I mean, we're getting the Mandarin back. Like, there's some cool MCU stuff. I disagree. I felt like this is actually one of the most like unique MCU projects. Just like the whole visual style of it.
Yeah, the visual style and what they're trying to do with that. But I think the story itself doesn't look like, compared to what we've seen, through WandaVision and Endgame.
That's fair.
It's kind of stepped back.
Right. But trying to compare things to WandaVision and Endgame, like, nothing's going to look good.
No. Yeah, that's a fair point.
But no, it's definitely not one of my most anticipated MCU projects, but I really love this trailer. I'm very excited for what Simu Liu is able to bring to the role of Shang-Chi and how this will fit into the MCU at large. I thought it was a really fun trailer. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really like the music choices. Like, it really just sets a vibe. So yeah, overall, I'm very excited. This is kind of a movie where I do want to see a bit more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the train sequence. I wasn't a big fan of that.
Yeah.
But everything else thought looked fun. Like, taking, like, good film or whatever, which I thought it looked solid. But, like, it just looks like pure fun. Which is what Marvel movies were, intended and created.
Yeah, exactly.
They ain't going for Oscars, but I think Eternals is going to be a dark horse to get a Best Picture nomination.
Right.
Chloe Zhao is a genius.
Right. Yeah. I just think they'll be hesitant to put a Marvel film as Best Picture.
Joker,
like Black Panther did something.
Black Panther.
But that did something that was very culturally and very important.
This is going to be the first superhero movie to feature a gay couple.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't see it. But who knows? Maybe.
I'm telling you, Chloe Zhao is a genius.
Okay.
She's going to get at least Eternals. Even if it's not some major, Eternals is going. I'm gonna call it now. Want to bet $5 on it? Eternals is going to at least get one of the major 8 Oscar categories.
I am not a bettor, as we established previously on the show. so no. So yeah, no. I mean,
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice recovery.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the Conjuring 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Conjuring? The Devil Made Me Do It.
This is one that actually looks pretty good. I mean, it was a very creepy trailer, especially the scene with the water like bed as well. Yeah. That was pretty great sequence. Overall, they're not. I can see why a lot of people really do enjoy the Conjuring films. I just haven't personally locked onto them yet. I mean, they're okay. I do enjoy the main series, but the rest of them, not really films I connect with. But this certainly hasn't made me less excited, and it has made me slightly anticipating it.
Yeah. I've never seen a Conjuring movie.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the main two, one of the Annabelle ones, and The Nun.
Got it. I will probably watch through at least the 2 Conjuring movies before this comes out. I believe they're both on Netflix right now. Netflix or Prime.
Well, yeah, maybe for US, I don't know about UK.
Well, yeah. No, this looked good. It looked like, I mean, even with it being like horror, it also looked kind of like a mystery thriller.
Yeah.
Which I quite enjoy.
And I had some courtroom bits as well, which I thought was interesting, and not a direction I thought they were going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely, personally, I think, very excited for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I'd be, because horror has never really been a massive, like, it's never, it's never been like a massive genre for me. But I don't know. I did actually really enjoy this trailer, and I'll probably watch the 2 Conjuring movies.
Yeah, it's a very hit or miss genre for me. I mean, if you can make it good and interesting, so Get Out, Cabin in the Woods as well was one I really enjoyed. If you can make it interesting, I will be down for it. But a lot of times they're just pretty generic and not my kind of films.
Yeah. So, but overall, I mean, this looked very, very fun.
Definitely.
All right. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 6, and our overall thoughts on the series.
Yes. That's my feeling as well towards it. Just disappointing, really. Disappointment.
It was so good.
It was.
So
every
spoilers.
episode got better on itself, and then the truth was worse, and then this one, which I knew you were going to ask me what the name is, but I can't tell you.
Hey Thomas. What's the name of the 6th
episode? I really should have looked in prepreration, but
I mean, I ask you this every single week. I've been doing this for the past 2 months now.
Yes, we have.
Take a guess. What would you have titled the episode?
What would I? Underwhelming. That's what I would have titled
it. It's called One World, One People.
Okay, right.
I like your title better. Yeah, no, so like I mentioned earlier in the show, so spoilers. So like we kick off, and like, the GRC thing is happening, which I guess they kind of built to, but like it all just kind of felt like thrown together. So then we get Sam in his Captain America suit, which was cool.
Yeah.
But we didn't earn it. Like, we just got him wanting and trying to be Captain America last episode. Before that, he didn't want to be Captain America. He was told by everyone like around him except Bucky that he shouldn't be Captain America. but then he decided on his own to be Captain America, and then now he's in the suit, which the suit looked really cool, but it just felt very like unneeded. Also, this episode felt like it was trying to be too big. Like it being a TV show really shone through here.
Yeah, actually, I would agree with that.
Like it didn't have like the third act Marvel feel. Also, this movie has like 20, or not this movie, the show is like 20 minutes tacked on at the end. That kind of felt like the Zack Snyder's Justice League epilogue.
Yeah. It's
like
sort
after
of
the main story ends.
I saw the fight scene, or the whole general scene of it, ended about the half an hour mark, which was a bit weird to me.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know. Like, and it's not like I hated this. I didn't think it was terrible because, like, I can't I didn't think this episode was great.
No,
if I'm looking at the series as a whole, it's probably like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, just sort of middle of the road, very average. Which
because, well, I mean, the first 4 episodes were really, really good.
Yeah, but then if you balance it out, it becomes very. I mean, if the first episode weren't quite as good, I don't know if this would have been as disappointing and underwhelming. But as it is, this has just come across as very, very underwhelming.
So, my sister she was waiting to watch until they all came out, and then we were going to just binge through them together. So I'm going to be rewatching the entire series.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how it will feel moving as essentially just like a 4.5 hour movie. Like going back to back to back without the week of anticipation every time.
Yeah, that could be interesting actually.
So I'm going to try that. I don't know if that will happen this week or not, like before the next show. But I'd be curious to see if that changes my viewpoint and to see if it flows better or just feels more disjointed. But yeah, no, overall, like it just felt like there were just a couple things missing.
Yeah. And it all felt like one problem, especially I had with it, is the whole John Walker storyline, how that wrapped up. It was way too fast. Like, he went from sort of goody to complete bad guy to complete good guy again in the space of about 2 episodes.
Well, right, but now he's with Val, and he's a U.S. agent who's traditionally a villain in the comics.
Yeah.
So now he's back to being a villain. Like, he just kind of seemed tacked on. Like, this is what I was saying, and what I was worried about, like, right around when we hit, like, episode 3 and 4. It seemed like they were doing way too much.
Yeah.
And
apparently, I heard it was meant to have originally 10 episodes, which would have made more sense, because some of it feels very slow, and other parts feel very rushed.
I feel like it starts out very slow.
Exactly, yeah.
It starts out very slow, and they build, and then they just kind of like, it feels like they panic, and then they just like stress out, and then now it's very, very strange. So yeah, I don't know. Because I really wanted to like this is the problem. I really wanted to like this, and I really started out loving this.
Yeah. I mean, episode 1 and 2 I was a bit more hesitant on, but then episode 3 and 4 I thought were brilliant, especially episode 4.
Yeah, and like the Carly Morgenthau storyline, like she dies, but then everything just happens so quickly. Like all of these wrap-ups for all of these characters just seem so rushed.
Yeah.
After
what
building,
I find is weird is that it follows. I mean, again, as we say, there just isn't. It goes too quickly. There's way too much in way too little episodes, as you say. And the whole Sharon Carter stuff with her reveal being the power broker, like, what's the point?
I know, 1, it was expected, and 2, it didn't have any bearing on the story.
No, exactly.
So I don't know, because like I feel like it spent way too much time building up so slow to just wrap everything up so quickly.
Yeah.
But overall, what is your final rating of the entire series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Looking at the entire series as a whole, I'd probably have to drop down to maybe I'll go with 7.5, just based on the quality of episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, because those are some of the best pieces of MCU.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's an undeniable fact.
Yeah, I'd completely agree.
And then you have episode 5 and 6. Yeah. So that is our review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not The Falcon and the Snowman. So next, I will discuss Mortal Kombat, and Thomas will just be here.
Yes, just exist.
I won't get into too many spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it probably when it comes out, but thank God it wasn't a more exciting film that I missed out on this week.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I'm more excited for Mitchell. I was more excited for Mitchell's vs. the Machines.
Okay, yeah.
But anyways, so first-time director, first-time screenwriter, Simon McQuoid. So they switch up the story from the 1995 one. It follows now like an MMA fighter who's like this washed-up MMA fighter who like he has the mark, so then he has to go fight. So that replaces Johnny Cage, the action star. Have you seen the 1995 one?
I have not, and I honestly don't plan on.
Good. It is one of the worst movies I have ever seen.
Yeah, that is what I've heard.
Like, period. But, yeah, it's, fine. Like, the action stuff is interesting. They definitely deliver on the bloody, violent, gory action. But, like, that's about it. There's no real standout performances. I mean, it's fine. Like it kind of reminds me of Godzilla vs. Kong, but not as fun. Because like Godzilla vs. Kong, I feel like was at least fun.
But I'll really not like it then.
Like, because I did enjoy Godzilla vs. Kong, but like it's a loose story, kind of haphazardly thrown together just to get to the next fight. And the fights are at least interesting. Like the fights are cool, but like, and like visual effects are solid. But I just that's really all there is in this movie. It's just that. And yeah, like without spoilers or anything, like I said, visual effects are solid, production design was decent, costume design was decent, but like it's honestly a very forgettable movie aside from like a couple cool action sequences. Like there's really not a lot to I guess there's really not a lot to talk about. Like it was just like there was just like a bunch of fighting and no story. So overall, I would give this movie like, I don't know, a 3 out of 10. Wow. Okay. Just for the action scenes. Yeah. It's like a violent action movie, and there's nothing else there. Like the movie has no substance. Right. So yeah. No, Thomas, like we were talking about before the show, we're going to throughout the year, and Atticus will be doing so as well. We'll have our Teens Talk Movies Awards at the end of the year, where we give out our awards for different films over the course of the year 2021. So we'll do that at the end of the year. Like I'd watch it for. I mean, like the visual effects are like for best action movie. Like, I mean, it goes on the list of important movies of the year because it's, a big movie, but it's very forgettable. And if you weren't into like action, like very hardcore, like bloody action, then I really don't think people will enjoy it. Thomas, if you haven't looked it up, can you guess what its Rotten Tomatoes score is currently?
I haven't looked it up. Would it be... I know you said it was fairly high before. I'll say 61.
It is dropped from a 75 to a 55.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah. No, and I was kind of hoping to enjoy this movie, but like, because the Rotten Tomato score was higher, but yeah, it kind of fell flat for me. But I'm also not attached to the video game, and like this type of action movie also just isn't for me. So that is my review of Mortal Kombat. And Thomas, that is the show. That is all we have. We will be watching the Oscars tonight. We might record a reaction. Who knows? You guys will be hearing this show afterwards, though. But thank you guys so much for listening. If you're listening on the podcast feed, you can check out our YouTube channel. Also, Teens Talk Movies. We would really, really appreciate subscribing, liking, commenting, all of the stuff that people on YouTube tell you to do. If you're watching on YouTube, we'd appreciate if you come over to our podcast feed and subscribe and download the shows and maybe leave a review. It really does help out the show. If you want to get more people to listen to us for some reason, share it with a friend, share it with whoever. We do appreciate it. You can check me out at Teen Select Movies on Letterboxd, all one word, where you can keep up with what I'm watching. Also, I decided to start like a movie blog. I don't know if I'll continue to do it, but it's Trevor Mattson Movie Reviews. So you can look at that if you want to watch or see bad writing. So, but until then, Thomas, you got anything to say?
No. I think, yeah, it's a good show. We won't be talking about Falcon and Soldier next week, but I'm sure there will still be a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, Mitchell's vs. Machines and the Oscars.
Yes.
All right, we will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening so much, everybody. Stay safe, everyone, and goodbye.